Stephen. Hey, Karen.
Is what I think is going to be a great ASTI this year. We have some really good stuff in line, and we have some of the people that are going to teach them here tonight to let us know what they're going to talk about and how it's going to be a good event. Anything else, sir?
That's all. We want to get started. We have a couple new faces this year online, but also a lot of new business classes and new technical classes that we're excited about. And we're also excited to welcome our regulars back that are oh so popular, and new fresh classes that we can bring to our members this year. Go ahead, Manny, if you want to start.
Yeah, Jenny, you want to go first?
I can, sure.
Let us know what you're going to teach us all.
Well, I'm excited. I'm teaching one class that I've taught before and one class that's going to be a new class. And so I'll start with the oldie but goodie first. What it's positioned at the end of the conference, and the reason for that is because it's going to be a guided brainstorming session to collect all of your fantastic ideas that you've kind of gathered throughout the conference and kind of get them in an organized brain dump. So we guide through 16 different categories in the big categories of team trajectory and tracking. So we talk about your team growth, team development, team engagement, all the operational things going on in your business in the various categories, your marketing strategy, all of those things, and then even your quality management and your KPIs and stuff like that. We get it all organized, and then we help you prioritize and plan some things to dig into first, based on whether they're critical to your business or whether they're low-hanging fruit, how long they might take you, and all of those things, and kind of let you leave ASTI with a really great strategic plan to get your year started. So that one I just love because you leave without everything just being utter chaos, and you have everything planned out to just jump in and hit the ground running when you get back. The other class that's a new class is kind of inspired. I feel really passionate about this one because there's been a couple people close to me who have lost their Google profile and their phone stopped ringing. And one of them almost lost their whole entire business. And so we all know how powerful Google is and how powerful your Google listing is. And something that Joe and I have worked on from the very beginning is a really strong organic strategy that helps our phone keep ringing even if Google were to shut down our profile. So we're going to walk through that marketing strategy, from creating an original blog and how we brainstorm through that and how we use ChatGPT to help us with that. And I say help because we don't want to just let it write it for you and then publish it. You definitely need to review it, put your own spin on it, add a personal story to make it unique. And then we talk about how to post that, how to incorporate that into a newsletter that you send to your existing customers every single month with a personal update, a business update, so that people can really feel connected with you and you stay front of mind for them. And then all the ways that we post about our blog post, and then our final strategy, which is really important, and that is just showing up in the online community spaces like Nextdoor and Facebook, and just being a really nice friend in your community spaces. And then anytime somebody asks for appliance repair, you can be the first one to jump in, and they will have already seen you being so helpful and friendly that they want to give you their business. So all of those things kind of work together. And then you still need your Google profile to be alive and well, but if it isn't for some reason, then it's not total radio silence. So we're going to walk through all of that strategy.
That sounds wonderful. Kind of like going back to the way we used to do it before Google.
Yeah, you still have to kind of show up in the world as a normal person and kind of let people get to know you. And one of the things I teach everybody, and I say this all the time, is on your social media profiles, you don't want to just have a bunch of pictures of the insides of your appliance. So this class really focuses on showing up in your community as a person that is good to your community and helpful, and somebody that is an actual human and not just a nameless, faceless business. So when we show up at somebody's house to fix something, they feel already connected with us and safe calling us.
I like that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Well, they'll walk away with the whole strategy and all of the prompts that I use in ChatGPT, so they can just go and plug and play and have everything they need to get started. So.
Very good.
Yep.
Jack, are you ready to go next?
Jack, you're muted.
I don't think Jack knows he's muted.
There you go.
It's much less annoying to everyone's ears if I'm muted.
You're absolutely correct, but we'd like to hear you anyway.
Okay, all right. So we're doing five different topics coming into this. The first one is with Carrie and Tim, and it's me talking about texting, automations, different things of that sort as it ties into Rossware and as it ties into the service company solutions, SCS communications integration. And so we've been strategizing the class, all of our classes, and we're taking a different approach this year to all of them. And we're looking at all of them as more of a workshop type of class. So we're going to be asking the attendees questions and getting input and involvement, and that will shape the direction and what's talked about during the class as well. That one, our description on it is join us as we demonstrate the powerful ways to streamline customer interactions and boost service efficiency. Discover how to leverage integrated texting and automations between SCS communications and service desks, optimizing appointment scheduling, reminders, customer updates, etc. Learn actionable strategies to transform your customer service communication, reduce manual tasks, and elevate service quality seamlessly. So that's our first class on my list. But you'll have to check the schedule to see what date and times, because we're kind of all over the place with different classes. The second one is elevate your customers' experience and business efficiency with Sky. That's our new AI agent that we've launched. It actually is much more of a what is AI? How can you implement it in your business, not just as the AI agent, but other topics. That class is going to be hosted by Tim Fuller, Todd Dagenar, and Carrie Savini. Don't know who she is. In my opinion, it's Carrie Savigny, because that G's not silent. But anywho, this one is the elevate your customer experience with the efficiency of AI, although we name it as Sky. In this class, we'll teach you about all of the new role of artificial intelligence in our industry, while you learn and gain insights into how AI models learn, adapt, and evolve, as well as potential positive and negative effects they may have on your operation. We'll also introduce Sky, our newly launched SCS AI companion, which is designed to enhance your communication offerings significantly. While some customers may still be hesitant to embrace AI, it's present and inevitable. So the time to learn is now, and join us in the class. So the intent with this is to just get you more educated, to give you some caution on what you should be looking for in your AI partners. Even if it's not service company solutions, there's a million of them out there. There's going to be a million more of them coming in the next few months and years. And you want to be careful, is this person from our industry? Are they doing this as a little hobby on the side? Are they working out of their basement and not really a legitimate business, et cetera? So because there is such a propensity to misuse the technology, we just want to give you the heads up so that you're aware as you're going into it. We built this class and description prior to having the AI panel announced. So it's one of those things that It will probably cover some of the same stuff that comes out during the AI panel, but we're doing it from a industry expert opinion on what we do, how it's being implemented already, not just our product, but other products, and bringing our service expertise into AI. We certainly don't claim to be AI experts. I don't know that there really is such a thing in this day and age. And it is moving so fast and changing so fast that you just kind of have to watch what you're getting into as you get into it. But it is just really flipping some of the hardships of service companies on its head, because you're able to do things with computers and stuff. The reality is AI has been around for 30, 40 years, but the advances have started jumping leaps and bounds. First of last year at ASTI, we were not anywhere close to being ready to roll out a product because we didn't think it was stable enough, effective enough, and fast enough. So there was just too much delay and that kind of stuff. Some new versions of the large language models have come out. So that's the AI piece of it, where it's processing so much faster. I mean, it's fractions of a second before it can respond back to a customer, which feels like human interaction. The next one is optimizing day-to-day communications, understanding key tactics for service excellence. And we're going to kind of take a look at what are different things that you can implement with your communication system and texting and all the unified communication platform to streamline interactions with customers, try to make your whole operation more efficient. And that is the optimizing day-to-day communications class. Service company solutions class, the other side of our business. Pricing, strategic pricing, and understanding your value in appliance repair services. Again, more of a workshop than us standing at the front of the class preaching at you. But it is going to look at, it's not just the repair that you're bringing to the customer, and it's not just getting a call booked and scheduled, but it's more about fixing the customer's life, and the real value of that, and as experts in your field, what you're bringing to that team, et cetera, or to your customers. And you should value that. One of our tactics as we're coming into Christmas here is a good thing for people to understand is what's the value of your stove or your refrigerator working the week before Christmas? Is it the $300 repair, or is it the $800 worth of food that you're going to spoil? So you're fixing a lot more than what the repair cost is, and we want to get that across. And whether you're using one of our products like Blue Book, or if you're doing time and materials, all of that stuff should come into play as we're doing that. So we're not pimping a product, we're not demo a product in that specific class unless there's time and people want to see it. But it's not our main focus in the class. It's to educate, get a perspective on your value. One of the things that I teach when we go to the buying groups is that if you go and buy a new car, let's say you buy a new Mercedes and you take it into the Mercedes dealer, do you expect that service to be cheaper than service from your neighbor, your uncle, a local repair one-man shop down the road or whatever? Or do you expect it to be more because it's the dealer? And so we're teaching that value perspective to that subset of customers specifically. But you're the expert. You've been trained, you're going to classes, you're learning new stuff all the time. It shouldn't be cheaper than the person that's doing it for themselves. Self-servicing dealers in particular are talking to their customer base, and because they sold them the appliance, they feel like they owe them a cheaper price. But the manufacturers and the margins from 30 years ago have narrowed so much that you can't afford to do that and still have a successful service department. Our next one is enhancing appliance service efficiency, and we're going to look at what it takes to run calls, strategic things that you can do to streamline that. How can you reduce the number of trips you're making on a call, by triaging and pre-diagnosing, and again, more of a workshop. So we're gonna put our comments out there, our opinions out there, and then we're going to ask for everyone in the audience, or what are you doing and how are you doing it different, and all of that. So again, it's not about selling the product, it's more about education. And I think that is all of our classes. So sorry that took so long and I'm so wordy, but we'll keep going.
That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. I'm looking forward to it. And you
Awesome.
mentioned Carrie's name a couple times. She's going to help you.
She is going to help with a couple of the classes, and then her and service desk have, I don't know, 87 more classes or something like that. And there'll be a few of those that will stop in for 10 or 15 minutes so we can ask or answer any integration questions that tie into our software as well, as she invites us to.
Great. Carrie, do you want to add to what he said and tell us what?
I mean, I can, or Steven and Jared could cue up
Okay.
in that AI thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's where their stuff's all about.
It's overwhelming to me, but I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Okay, well, so Clear Learning Group is who I represent, and I have partnered with obviously Service Company Solutions and with Rossware. Rossware will again this year be having a dedicated classroom, so we will be in the same class for the entire convention. We will be bringing you 4 classes, I think, every day except for the first day and the last day. The first day and the last day, we're going to offer an open forum Q&A. So if anybody wants to just come in and ask questions, you'll be able to do that in Wednesday afternoon or Sunday morning before everybody heads out for the rest of the year. But specifically, not to give Jack all the credit for coming up with all these workshops, but Rossware has also, Clear Learning Group and Rossware have worked together, and we're have changed a bunch of our classes this year as well. I think I've taught the Service Desk Basics class for 15 years now, and it's boring. And even though I've revamped it repeatedly, it's a lot. It's a massive information dump, and it's really hard for people. And so this year we've decided to change our classes to focus on some things that tech support typically can't help people with when they call in for help. So normally, for example, if you're going to set up service desk zones, Rossware is going to point you to some training materials, some videos and some guides, and say, have fun. If you have problems, let us know. So this year, instead, we are going to be actually offering some hands-on classes where we are going to recommend that you bring your information with you to the class so that we can actually do some hands-on. We're going to open up Excel. We're going to use, Notepad, and we're going to actually set up a zone file. We're going to walk through how to set up texting templates. So those are some of the things that we're going to do. One of the other things that Kenton is going to do specifically for Rossware is he's going to walk through passwords and security and something with third-party integrations. Again, some issues that people really struggle with, and Rossware, because we're not allowed, because they're not allowed to access some of that information. We can't make connections with Service Power for you. We can't make connections with Service Bench for you. I should say Rossware can't do that for you. So Kenton is going to teach a class where he's going to help people learn exactly what steps they need to do and who they need to contact in order to have those things set up and done correctly. So I encourage whomever's interested to look through our class list. I know last time I looked, Sarah, we hadn't updated the date and times on there, but I did provide that information. So hopefully that'll be on there soon. But pick and choose
There will
those.
be.
Thank you. Pick and choose those classes to see which ones work or which ones are things that you need help with. So like I said, we're going to do a combination of some really hands-on stuff where you can actually write, like I said, a texting script. But we're also going to do hands-on ASTI mobile best practices for how to do estimates and how to submit that information back to the office. And then the other thing to tell you too about Rossware is that we're always relatively well staffed when we come to the convention, and so there will always be a person out at a table outside of the classrooms who is going to be available to speak to. Her name is Melissa Johnson. She's a new employee at Rossware, so she'll be available. And then Kenton or one of us will always be in a classroom, but outside of that, we're also available for one-on-one questions and whatnot. You just need to come and let us know what you want to have a sit down with. And then I know Steven's going to be wearing multiple hats while he's there, but he is also the ASTI mobile expert. So he'd also be somebody that you guys can reach out to. I'm going to volunteer you for that, Steven. But that's pretty much what we're doing, what Rossware, Clear Learning Group, and SCS is doing, or what Clear Learning Group is doing with those two companies, is we're really trying to bring, through my experience of being on site with companies and helping them get up and running with Service Desk, these are some of the things that we've realized that people could really use some hand holding with, and that's what we're going to try to provide this year.
That sounds good, because I've been to some of those in the past, and you're right, they can get kind of tedious and a little boring, but this is exciting to hear, Liz. I'll bring my stuff with me.
Perfect. We're excited about it.
Steven, she mentioned your name. What are we gonna get with Steven?
You bet. I'm gonna let Jared take it off, and then I'll talk after him.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So Steven and I are working together. I'm super excited for the industry to get to know a guy who's been a major influence behind the scenes that I don't think a lot of people are really familiar with. Steven's been really fun to work with. We'll be in town. The classes will be presented by Evolved Service. That's a startup this year that Steven and I have engaged in. The first class we're going to be doing is going to be called So You Have Your Tech Metrics. Now what? The idea there is, I think a lot of folks in the industry are starting to realize the value of measuring your technician performance. In my own experience, talking to other just servicers around town or around the country, it's like, okay, so I see how my technicians are performing, but what do I do with the information? So this is going to be kind of a, what do you do with the information that you see? How do you correlate data to determine what are the coaching opportunities for technicians? We're going to have focuses on realizing that to be a sustainable company, you have to have repeatable revenue. So driving towards sustaining a predictable revenue stream is a major part of, your technician, or the technician's performance is a major part of that. The technicians are themselves the only real access we have to revenue as an appliance servicer, outside of the self-servicing dealers, of course. But for most of the attendees, labor is going to be the main source of income. So how do you make it repeatable? Well, I think that's through data. So we're going to talk about what to do with the information to then coach your technicians properly. We're going to talk about instilling a cadence of when to meet with technicians, how to establish something that's actually a growth opportunity. I think oftentimes when you bring employees in for a performance meeting, some managers and owners might take that as an opportunity to really grill their technicians, their performers, to see, or really let them know like things that really should be more of a write-up, or just a phone call for an ass chewing. That's not really what you're trying to accomplish when you're trying to do a performance meeting. You really want to be together and really focused on how do we build up together. Because if you're angry at somebody, it's not going to be productive. But those are some of the notes that we're going to touch on in our, basically what to do with the information. We're going to try to do the best we can to have examples from various sources of, just types of data you can have, some how-tos of like how to cobble it together yourselves. And then, of course, we do have a product that we are launching this year called the Aries Dashboard, that for those business owners or managers that might not have time to actually piece this all together themselves, it's going to be a very simple, okay, well, here's another offering. Obviously, we don't want to make our class a sales pitch. As a person who's been going to ASTI since I was 20 years old, the classes where it's just a blatant sales pitch always kind of turned me off. I'm cognizant of that. So we're going to focus on just trying to give people something they can take home to really improve their businesses. That's the first of our two classes. The second class, I'm gonna let Steven talk a little bit more on. Steven, are you
Yep.
you ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think both of our classes are going to be pretty heavy hitting. We're going to focus pretty heavily on the business owner and management role. A lot of what we're going to focus on is really relevant for those classes of folks. But our second class specifically is we want to help you as a business owner turn your instincts into insights. We want to take those gut feelings that you have about your business and turn them into actionable things that you can do to impact the revenue of your business, to impact the performance of your technicians. And really, we just want to help you look at the data that your software systems already provide and identify what's actually going on in your business. It can be a little bit difficult as new business owners or even as seasoned business owners to have a good in-depth understanding of every aspect of your business. It takes a lot of time. You need to understand how you pull the information out of your software system. If you're using a software system, you need to understand what all that information might mean, and you need to be able to put it together in a way that is both understandable and also actionable. So we're going to focus a lot on specific use cases in our class. We're going to look at some real data that we've anonymized. We've changed it up a little bit, but we're going to look through this information with you, and we'll identify some real actionable metrics that we see in this data, and we'll help you understand how you can apply the same insights that we get from this data to your data. We're going to focus, while we're looking at these different data sets, we're going to focus on some common tools that you can use. So you'll be able to pull out your reports from things like Rossware or Walkabout or ServiceTitan or whatever you use, pull that information out in the form of a CSV, show you how you can bring it up in Excel or bring it up in Google Sheets or whatever you'd like to use, so that you can get some insights into what this information means for you as a business owner. And then we'll also show, how do you use some of these newer technologies? I know Jack mentioned AI. How do you use AI to, as a business owner, make your job of understanding the heartbeat of your business a little bit easier? And we'll focus quite a bit on some actionable stuff in this class. So a lot of what we would like, if possible, is if you could bring a laptop, maybe bring some data if you've got some data. If you use Rossware, bring a Type 7 export. If you use ePass or if you use any of your other software providers, just try to get a job outcome report from your software system. And then we'll work together on trying to understand some of this data. And then, hopefully what we do will impact the decisions that you make in the future, and maybe your understanding of the decisions that you made in the past. And that's what we're going for.
Thank you, Stephen. That sounds good too. I'm already excited. This all affects me and my business for sure. Well, last but not least, save the best for last, possibly. We'll see what Daniel could do. What are you going to teach, Daniel?
Well, it's tough when you put me
Manny.
at last. It's hard when you put me at last, with my French accent when they are such great presenters. So I really feel like I want to attend all of your classes. So it's really exciting. So I'll surf on Stephen and Jared's content, because I'm doing something quite complementary, because all these skills that will be shared are super important. But as an entrepreneur or as a manager, are you able to handle this? Are you the type of person to receive this, to deal with this? And sometimes we feel like we want to procrastinate, we're stuck, we do paralysis analysis, and we don't know why, we don't know what's happening. So these are the classes I will be giving. The first one will be on, are you tired of struggling in business? So whether you're a mom and pop shop, you run a 10 tech or 150 tech organization, I've seen leaders, being afraid of what they need to do, being afraid of the next step, procrastinating. So we're going to deep dive into this situation and discuss about what blocks you, what stocks you as a leader. Why aren't you able to overcome some barriers that you have? So what are the barriers? What are the business rules that exist? How can you take a step back from the emotion that you feel and assess, more objectively the issue that you face? And I'll also give you tools to overcome these. So it should be very exciting. So that's the first part. So, and it goes back to, nobody's we're all ultimately responsible to have success in our business, but we don't have to deliver it all. So sometimes having things done doesn't mean that you need to do it. And usually the way classes are presented is like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. Well, actually, I bring some perspective on this, that it needs to be done, but it doesn't mean that you need to do it. But you need to know how to delegate this, so it hands it there for the first class. Then I go on the second class where I talk about, just hold on, I was switching here. Trust experts and delegation. So delegation seems really easy to do, like communicating seems easy to do, but we take for granted that we all know these things, and we take for granted that the people we're talking with, they know how to communicate, they know how to ask questions to clarify intents. But most of us aren't good communicators. We're not good at delegating, and we're not good at making decisions. So, and it's a fact. And the goal of this class is to talk about what goes into delegation. There's a question of trust. What is trust? How do you learn to trust? If you tried to trust people and it didn't work out, why did it happen? And how can you in the future learn to trust people and delegate with clarity, so you make sure that you achieve your goals and you reduce the chances of failing? So those are the two classes I'll be covering. Should be pretty exciting.
Thank you, Daniel. You were a late addition to coming on, and I want to thank you for taking the time to do this, and all of you for taking your time to be here tonight to tell us what we can all look forward to. Do we have any questions in the questionnaire thing?
Yeah.
I
I
can't.
don't see any. Do you guys have any questions for each other? Will people type in the chat if they do? No? I think everybody did a great job tonight covering what they're going to offer. This is a small sampling of the over 220 classes we are offering at ASTI.
I think that's
Daniel,
a record,
your eyes just like.
Impressive.
So yeah, so we're very excited, and we look forward to it. And if anybody has any questions or need anything, please feel free to reach out to administration@unitedservicers.com. And we look forward to seeing you all in about 20 days. Of course, Jack has one, but you're muted, Jack.
I have one before Jack.
Oh, Carrie does. Oh, Carrie, you go first. Yeah.
Is the app up and running yet? And the reason I'm asking is because I know that like we provided pretty good descriptions to our classes, not just the title. Yep. So people can check that out now.
It will all be uploaded this weekend and available on Monday. Yes. Yes.
So I wanted to see if you would post the link to the ASTI class schedule in case people haven't actually found it yet. I think it would be good for them to have a link to that. So that was the.
Yep, we can do that. And there have been several edits in the last 5 days since it's been posted. So our marketing people are working on getting that updated as well. So yes, we will repost it on social media.
Okay. I didn't know if you wanted it in this recording in like the chat or something as well.
Oh, yep. You can go to asti.us and it is on the website. I will type it in right here.
Perfect. Thank you.
As a disclaimer, things have changed. They will change, but this is a general idea of when and where you can plan. But like I said, there are several changes and additions actually. There have been several people who have emailed saying, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to submit my class here. I want to teach this," or
Yeah, they're still coming in. I saw.
That's awesome though. Yeah. It's nice that you have so many.
It is.
And also, if you look in the schedule, you'll see how it's divided from business and tech. I believe almost everybody in this class is going to be working on the business side of things, but they have a ton of tech classes as well.
We have more tech than we've ever had. The Tech Connect has really helped with that, and I'm excited to see that when it happens. It's going to be very good.
It's very exciting. This most classes we've had and the most booths at the trade show, plus Tech Connect at the trade show with 22 or 23 OEMs showcasing their stuff in the tech playground for everyone to, touch and feel and see all of the appliances.
And we've had,
Well, thank you all very much for coming tonight, as well as all of our panelists for taking time out of their evening. Daniel away from his dinner, Jared away from bath time, and everyone else from what we have going on this evening. We really appreciate it. Manny, thank you for facilitating this evening.
thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you guys all in 20 short days. Have a happy holidays if we don't see you.
Thanks
Thank you.
for having us.
Happy holidays.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
We'll talk soon. Bye.
I'll go drop the bath bomb now.
Okay.
But